everyone, welcome to Startup Academy. So, in today's lecture, we shall be talking about a new unit that belongs to your geography syllabus. So, before actually moving to our syllabus and before actually getting stick to what we are here for, I would like to congratulate Team India for entering the finals after uh, defeating the basic team of England. So, our heartfelt gratitude from the side of Startup Academy to Team India as they would be playing finals today at 7 p.m. So you all would be busy in that. But before actually watching the match, cricket match, I would like to suggest you all to pay some heed to the lecture as well because your ISS examination is important too. And you can act as a cheerleader, you can act as a spectator for that team as well because it is important to support India and it is your own country. And since you are planning for civil services, so playing the major role by supporting India as a citizen of India, not only as a citizen but also a motivator, young cheerleader, so you can also lead or you can also get motivated by this upcoming match. So, our heartfelt congratulations and all the wishes to Team India and all the blessings from Team India to from Startup Academy to Team India. So, moving on to our topic. So, this is the match. I know you all must be very excited about this match and everything. We would be playing finals today against New Zealand. So let's hope for the best and let cross our fingers so that we can hope for good results. Obviously, we are hoping for good results, and people in Ahmedabad would be very excited. Though people in Ahmedabad are excited, but people staying on in their houses only, they are too excited. They are eagerly waiting for 7 p.m. to just clock. They are waiting the clock. They are waiting for the clock to strike 7 p.m. So that will strike after its own time only. It will take its usual time. So coming to our unit, that is our unit says our unit is, you can write the unit as transportation. When we talk about transportation, पहले तो बेसिक डेफिनेशन की बात कर लेते हैं. अगर बेसिक डेफिनेशन की बात की जाए तो it could be defined as the usual thing which says that the movement of people, animals, or we can say, or things, or like services, or something like that, or things, services from one place to another. So this is how we basically define the term transportation. And what are the major sources when we talk about the sources of transportation? Sources of transportation could be like, they could be land, air, rails, water, pipes, and cables. So these could be the sources, like you must have seen all these sources are available. And when we talk about its purpose, it must be having certain purpose. That's why we are basically using it. So when we talk about the purpose, we can say that पर्पस की अगर बात करते हैं तो पर्पस कुड बी योर टू enable daily commutaties for communication purposes and for trading as well, for urbanization, urban development, you can say. So these are the basic things that it provides for daily commodities, communication, trading, urban development, or you can say that infrastructural inbuilt. infrastructural purposes. Also, we are meeting after Holi, so I would like all of you to share your experiences of Holi, which color you use, how did you celebrate Holi, and what all you did, what all you eat. So this is what transportation actually means. So we have basically talked about certain things. First of all, we talked about the definition we talked about, then we talked about the sources, and then we talked about the purpose. So this is what we're going to discuss in detail in today's lecture. Again, a reminder is what? Reminder is obviously it is already there, already set up in your mind that you need to watch it at 7 p.m. uh, I would like also coming to our unit. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the basic meaning and the definition. So we already just few seconds ago we have already discussed about the basic definition. So it refers to the movement of people, goods and services from one place to another using various modes. Modes also we have discussed. Again we shall be discussing. It is an important component of economic geography because it connects production centers with markets and promotes development. What will happen if we are producing things and there is no road or no other means of transfer to make those services available for others? What if Zomato would never have developed because someone is producing, say, a food item in his or her house, or rather say a restaurant, and that body is not able to make that particular food item available to others? So how is that beneficial? So certain things are to be made. That is why transportation plays an important role. Hence, what are the key characteristics? When we talk about the key characteristics, the basic key characteristic is creates place utility. Like if you ever go to find a place for your stay, so you would be saying that I need a market by my side, I need a hospital by my side, I need a school by my side. Why? Because it's not that you are connecting to school and you are connecting to yourself to say hospital or something like that. No, because there would be a specific lane of road, there would be a specific say transportation facility available and utilities would be there. That's why you will find it easy to travel anytime at any place, and that too without much of the nuisance created from your side. That's why it becomes utility of place. It is creating utility of place. Now what will happen if you will find a house, say, um, on very slum area, in a very slum area you are finding your house, versus you are finding your house at a very urbanized and certain developed part or side of the country or side of the state. So which will be more say which will be more expensive to you? Obviously this would be costing more than the slum side. Why? Because it has come into utility. Other facilities will also be available because transportation is so good that things come and things go by no time in no time. Sorry, what is happening today? Connects regions and markets, then essential for trade, industrialization and urbanization. Trading is only possible when there is certain sort of transportation mode available. Then we have the requires heavy infrastructure investment. When infrastructure has to be made, that's why there are certain roads inside the country, like various roads are there inside the country where people find it difficult to travel because the infrastructure is not good. Once the infrastructure is made, a society with good infrastructure would be having more commodities and more people coming visiting, and more people having a dream of buying a house in that particular commodity, as compared to the place where the roads are filled with nothing but the pits. So that is the basic thing and basic requirement of the people. Now, and also it is the work of the government that they come on the preface and they tell the public to travel safely on road, and secondly the maintenance is to be maintained continuously. The road has to be maintained from the side of the government. So it is sometimes said that whenever there's an accident, so it is not always the problem from the side of the driver or from the side of the upcoming automobiles. It is most of the times the part or the problem arises from the coming of the roads or the making of the roads. And there are certain things that the government have taken an initiative, that is they are using the pet waste in order to construct roads. They are using the pet waste, that is the plastic waste. Pet, not that pet, your actual pet Tommy Shomy, no, not that pet. It is basically the chemical substance which will be used while laying down the roads, like paving of the roads. Okay, factors affecting development of transport. The basic factor is obviously the physical features. You cannot lay a road on a mountain with a slope which has a very high slope. So physical factors play initial role, that is the relief, climate, rivers and natural. What if there's a road there's a road with so many pits, and after every say hour or after every months or weeks and days, it is always filled with water. Why? Because the area seems to have a monsoon type of climate. So that's why the pits or the road is being cracked and converted into pits, which are doing nothing but uh, acting as a source of diseases like malaria, dengue, and all those diseases. Then we have the economic factors. If you are not having that amount of money, if you are not having the money or invested investigative amount of money, if you are not possessing that, so how will you be laying a road, or how will you be laying rails for we can say the train transport or the metro transportation? And if you are not having a huge site, and youth site is bought by economic, and once economy is not there, so how will the landing of an airplane or a helicopter or any land transport will be facilitated? So those things are to be thought before. Then we have the technological factors. Laying road is not a work of men would be bringing things and then laying it, so it is not a work of that. Again, laying of the rails, working of the rails and all those processings need technology. One more thing that requires technology on the side of the rails is that metro system that we are having these days. So that also requires a lot of technological ability, and the utility is required. So that's why technological instance and the engineering factor is also required. Then we have the political and strategic. Political, why political? Because the connectivity are to be enhanced. In order to enhance the connectivity of one state to another, so roads are being built. Not only roads, there are public transports. Sorry, there are air transports, land transport, water transport. So all these sort of transports are also there, that are being made in order to connect from one state to another, from one country to another. So these things are there. That's why India has so many flights, not only interior flights but also the exterior ones. So then we have the modes of transport. So this is your first or second class revision we shall be doing. First one, it is the road transport, then the rail transport, water transport, air transport, and then we have the pipeline transport. Pipeline transport, you can mark it as important because there are certain things that cannot be like taken or dragged into the ship, boat or airplane and could be carried away directly. They require specific amount of packaging. So that packaging would be nothing but the canals or the chambers, or you can say the cables or the pipelines in which you would be filling that substance, so that a huge amount of connectivity is there. Though installation cost would be high, that's why there are certain specific items, say petroleum, your diesel, that's why they cost more, because the transportation has been costed more to the government. So government would be acquiring that fund from your side as well. So, coming to the importance of transport, when we talk about the importance of transport, the economic importance, when trade would be accessible in one part of the country, therefore the economy will rise on to itself. When we talk about the social importance, people working on one part of the country needs to connect to the people working on the other part of the country. Maybe the people working on the other part and people working on this part are family, so they need to be connected. So why will people move from one place to another where there is no road, there is no system, no transport system, no facility available. So why will they be moving? So that's why social interconnection is important, not only between the families but also from the regions. Like there are so many vloggers who move from one place to another in search of food, we can say, or in search of traveling, or certain sort of those things as well. So what is helping them, what is improvising them, what is motivating them is nothing but the transport facilities that are basically made available to such people. Then we have the political importance, that is the national integration are to be maintained. That's why the political importance holds major role. Then the strategic importance, it is for important for our defense system. Like this year when we were taking revenge for the attack that is the mission Sindoor. So in that also we were releasing the jets, we were releasing our bullets, we were releasing our missiles from the air. And you must be very well aware of those two ladies, those two lady officers who actually fought for on like fought on the side, from the side of India against the Pakistan, and bought back the Sindoor, not actually the life, but bought back the Sindoor. And bringing back Sindoor is the basic thing of every, we can say, every woman. So heartily, a very heartily felt gratitude to those two women who actually fought on the side, from the side of India against Pakistan, and it means a lot to us. They came on forward, they were fighting, everything was going back to back, things were like very brutal at that point of time, and still they stood up for India. Though it, some people would say that it was their job, but why are not other people standing, why are not they able to do that thing? So it was their job because they get into it. What if they would have chosen to stay back and be entrepreneurs and stay on the rest on the sofas and say like signing would be more than enough? What if they would have chosen? So it was their life, their decision, and they chose to protect India. So obviously a big thank you to Indian Army, and also happy Women's Day to all the pretty women that I know, you know, and we all know. Okay. Then we have the modern developments. Modern developments refers to the containerization, high-speed rail tracks, and small transport systems and logistics network. You cannot make road anywhere, anytime. You cannot build tracks anywhere, anytime. Certain logics are required. That's why it is not only the work of the engineer to make road, to make railways, to make the pathways, to build the pavements. It is the work of so many people connected, so many people concerned to different fields and different ideologies, so that the things could be connected and a basic infrastructure could be laid, and more accessible features could be presented to the government, so that the government could be supported again by its public. So this was all for your government, sorry, for your transportation. And related to that, we have already discussed the schemes. So from that schemes you can pick certain portions, you can add those portions to it. I don't think there's something missing. Only left are PYQs. So PYQ will come in next session. Till then, you can just read it, revise it. It is nothing to memorize. If you will give a thorough reading to it, your work would be more than sufficient. So it would be more than done. Okay, so this was all for today's, and do not forget to watch that match at 7 p.m. And happy Women's Day. So fill the comments with wishing all your women or the women around you, and also do wish me happy Women's Day. Thank you.